Hi everyone, how you all doing? Well, we're going to talk about a subject now, and I just hope I don't offend anybody with this subject, but it's a delicate one. I suppose what we've got to look into now is the mindset of the inhabitants of the two cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, because we want to know why. What was the swaying factor that made God decide that these two cities had to be taught this huge global lesson? Was it the fact that the two practices that are predominantly right at the top, one being bestiality and the other being homosexuality, was it these two underlying facts and practices alone that had angered God? And so he then decided that they must be taught a lesson. Well, I've just been looking at the King James Version of this account. It's in Genesis 18, isn't it? And it does appear that it's not just the two practices that made God's mind up. It's the fact that the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah had a particular mindset of arrogance, believing they were untouchable and that they could, at any given moment, drag any young men out of their houses and perform gang rapes on them. And this is the sickening detail that had angered God. Not the fact that they were just involved in homosexual practices, but it was this gang raped scenario that they enjoyed without believing there'd be consequences, that they were untouchable. And so you've got that account of when the angels visited and they disguised themselves as two normal men of the city, and yet that group started to gather outside. And they wanted those two men to be brought out. In fact, that's what they made a demand, didn't they? Bring those men out that we might have sex with them. But this would have been a ganged, raped, homosexual raping that they wanted to indulge in. And so you know what happened. The angels blinded them and they made their escape. Went back to the heavens, reported back to the Most High of the mindset of the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah. And that is the most important fact to remember. And that's why no city would be built there after this was destroyed. Because God wanted to teach any subsequent and future cities a lesson. And that is that there will always be consequences for arrogant and people who indulge in practices believing that they are untouchable, because there's always a price to pay for going an independent route and not being God-fearing. And I just thought that was just a good point. I wanted to bring that out to you. And I'm hoping to have a good weekend, just resting. Take it easy, everybody. Yeah, Christmas is upon us, but hey, it's no big deal, is it? Doesn't mean that much in the scheme of things, does it? So see y'all again. Goodbye.